Ora bukoba. Okay. Nimbula Vinaka everybody. Bikim nila siya matikumay. Vinaka lewa. Da siya masarchingo iserne. May Australia. Aron siya matikumingoro na maramba bitinani. O Penina Cirikiyasawa. Wate kay Lola Qaranivalu. Dan nabitan no tiko na doon ulo tangan bimbisara. Tamaraw ni ro bakayo na marama bitinani. Mero ngale meni ko me tamay bitalo no tu tamay bi bulong wadi tiko na doon ulo tanga. Ukla ni bunga weekend na doon long tar tak tumbeka chuk talanga sono wekanda. Era wili tel chuk nga na uma tamata tamusakayani. Era tiko na wasi ni bitalo no and then atakawa tiko ni ko. Bikim di kada na siya matiko mai Vinaka balib sara maratakan nom ni bakararong mai na bitala nongko ya me bakang kini bakarau me waraka na nandra lambe mai na bebekani sauching ko na rua na tin katula meniti mai biti sauching ko na rua na tin karua na tin katula meniti mai serene and then narongo na matin dola sere me bakani ngonele tiko ni ra na nonton marama bulan into kai and then ngwale sarti ko ira and sing bilang ni kuwa ngonele ni nambala to kai malo maira and then rongo tamante do na ser me na simati kenda kina nonton na pitalo notiko and na sing bilang ni kuwa nimbula Vinaka na bula ta pangau ni semati kumikina sa ngol chukayani na bakambula ara na yan.
Every
So you are the apple of my eye. Totoka. Yeah.
Malu-malu na siya.
Lalu to sir sarangala kando may naisa o naisa no pagturang ora ara yan bikim ni keda na barong ti kumain no bulu binaka miteli yar na mua bulu binaka laifini kele pikuroi emaranandi peniana buna lakoi Thelma Taria Lucy na ilati bulu binaka maramanita shai kotumbalabu kay gemnual nai tubao sa andina na bula da bangali siya machukumikina bikim ni na siya machikumimerika andong bulu binaka mi Australia Nislandi wakatanga kini bikim ni na siya machikumititi binakbali buna nom ni ronga na kali molo mongo muni ngole mai nanto nga na Talanoa leka sar kero na maramba bitinani ero siya matikungo mai serene na silbina kani korona bitinani Lola Qaranivalu na maramba ni sawa yeke mai ngau na sana lo mai biti ke na non ngone leo totoka ngone leo ni nambala mai ra o Penina Cirikiyasawa rombo binaka na bitinani bola Penina
Bulu Vinaka.
Yandra sarang binaka na extend na ngone leo ni nambala mai rango bola binaka Lola rombo chikani kuwa
Iyo, also swalila is ngaman na job liw na ngonga bira na ngwane. Ako sagali yan ko kasi ko ya lang do na singsudu ya sagi li drop ti ko sagali smai jango mekito chingana bosingo mekiro toli pipik tal na kami ko.
sabi na ko matap tunan ra may serne ni kuwa Lola
Sa nrakin batatachi ko. Nrakin na to dila to na singa yo it's currently what 13 14 degrees. So we need to winter now.
Dia na sa
Yeah, I
kita
mean,
to
it's
bida
winter,
lati. To bida lati chiku ike sa kito sa kay katakatan ko. Na sa dawir tu nga na wir ni dang. Iyo. Kesa o chika ni ridang sa turi ko sarangan ni Wai to liba matempatayan.
So this weather is perfect for Penina. Yeah.
Yay, Penina. So Penina, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience, please, Penina? Just tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from in Fiji.
I'm from Bala.
Okay, right. And how old are you, Penina?
I turned 9 today.
Seriously, 9? Wow, that's a big number. I thought you were 6. Wow, so you've grown older now, eh? How does it feel to be 9, Penina?
It feels good. Next year, next year we're in a double digits.
Ooh, are you looking forward to have double digits, Penina?
Yes.
Okay, and what are you planning to do when you especially for today? It's a special day for you.
We went out for a birthday breakfast.
Okay. Wow. And what did you have for breakfast then?
We had pancakes and
yeah. What else?
And we went to McDonald's, and since we went like early in the morning, it was freezing cold.
Oh wow! Oh, that's nice. And were you happy that mom and your sister came with you?
Yeah, and my auntie and my grandma.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really special. Now, which school do you go to?
Homebush Public School.
Homebush. Oh, so you must be so close to the big stadium then. Yeah? You know, the big Olympic stadium. Yeah. Because that's where they had the Olympics, right? Homebush.
Yeah, one in Sydney.
Yeah, it was in Sydney. What's the name of your school teacher, Penina?
Miss Bhatia.
Oh, where's she from?
She's from Sri Lanka or India. I mean Sri Lanka and India.
Okay. And what subject do you like the most at school?
Science.
Wow. So what would you like to be when you grow up, Penina?
An artist or an actor.
Whoa, that is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. And do you normally go and watch movies because you want to be an actress?
Well, only when like new ones and we want to watch.
Right. Okay. Okay. And have you been to Nabalambal?
No, maybe.
No.
And Penina, there will be some children from Nambalambala listening right now. What would you like to tell them? Can you wave and say Yandra to them?
Yandra.
Yay! And you look forward to visit them one day?
Maybe.
Okay. And I'll definitely remind Mom to take you.
She's right there.
And Penina, when you go to Nambalambala, can I come with you?
Can she come with you?
I
Am
don't
I
know.
allowed to come with you? Can I come with you? I want to go and see your village.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, I should. I'll come. I'll bring my camera and I'll take lots of photos. Yeah, lots of photos of Nambalambala in Ra. So to those of you listening in, some of you are from Nambalambala in Ra, and we are very happy to have Penina, who's here with us. She's 9 years old, and she can't wait to have the double digits. Yeah, as you said, Penina. Yeah. So Penina, when you have the double digits, what do you want to do? Do you want to travel somewhere, or what do you have in mind?
Maybe I might like have a big birthday party.
Okay. And you want to travel to a place?
We've only been to like 3 countries: Australia, Dubai, and Fiji.
Oh, wow. Maybe you should come to Hollywood because you want to be an actress. You want to come to America?
And I'm wearing a Minnie Mouse jumper right now, and my mom said that's a sign that we might be going to Disneyland.
Yeah. Very good. Yes. So yeah, can you show us? Can you stand up? Whoa, there you go. Penina, you are coming to Disneyland. Okay, so we'll make sure next year you come. Okay, I'll be here because I'm here in Hawaii. So I'll meet you in Disneyland. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, very nice. Vinaka, Penina, wow. So to those of you listening in, we've been talking to Penina, and Penina is the reason why we're having this special Talanoa session. And now we'll talk to Penina's mom, Lola. Lola, rani matangani pa madal tikim ni matabikenda, nabuno ni tabu tumikina, ke nabuno ni asus mikina may biti.
Yeah. Yo so maram ni so yekingau lo mai viti. Yo kiro yo sanin rua. So my twin sister, her name is Lola Qaranivalu. Kiro Sudhui, Brisbane. My dad used to work there in the 70s, so we were born in Brisbane. Ochaki kiro susu mai viti. Kiro uli mai yatsen in primary school, and then we went on to high school. Ochina Form 6, that was 1996. Kiro sa toki mai Sydney. Kiro vitavini. Kiro sa mai, like we came to do life in Sydney, finish school and do life. And then when did I get married? I got married around 2009, and Penina was born in 2014. So my childhood and high school life was brought up in Fiji. So went to ACS for high school.
So Yetsen for primary and ACS for high school.
Correct. And then we left, and then we came here to finish high school, and then started life here in Sydney, and been in Sydney since '97.
Wow, so that's a long time. Pinaka we're talking about this very special day, June 13th. It's International Albinism Awareness Day. Why you think this day is a very important day as an awareness for our communities to understand albinism?
So it's important. So, I'll start off from the beginning. When growing up in Fiji, we only, I knew about albinism, but in Fiji, they just classified as albino. So it's just one, they just classified under albino, that's it. But when I had Penina, and when she was born, and then when she was diagnosed at 4 months, so when she was born, the nurse, the midwife, she just said, "Oh, you got a blonde baby," And and I looked at her and I said, "Oh wow, she's really white." It wasn't until I was feeding her, then I questioned the nurse. "Is my daughter, do you think my daughter is albino?" So the nurse said, "Okay, wait, I'll check her after this." So then they took Penina, they checked her, and then they came back and said, "Oh, no, she's not albino." So that was it. Because we've never had anyone in the family with albinism. So, I just took what the nurse said. So it was until we were at home and Penina wouldn't react to us. Like sometimes you'd look at her and it was like she wouldn't see us. So I knew something wasn't right. So at her 3-4 month check, when I told the nurse, I think something's, if you could check her eyes, something doesn't feel right. So then she sent us to before you go and see a specialist, you see these nurses. So when they checked her, but that was around 3-4 in the afternoon, that was during her afternoon nap time. Yeah. And when they were doing tests, like Penina wouldn't react at all. And then she fell off to sleep. So the nurse said, "Oh, usually a blind baby would react that way." And that scared me. And I said, "Oh," so the nurse said, "Do you think she's blind?" I said, "Oh, I don't know, because it was all new to me." So she said, "Okay, we'll direct you now to a specialist." Like she did like priority check for Penina. Yeah. So then we went to the specialist and then they checked her and they said, "Oh, we can see traits of albinism." And I said, "What?" That was the first time I heard the term albinism, because albino. So when she said albinism, I was like, I got confused. And she went like, "Oh, that's you can just say she's part albino." That the specialist, yeah. So and that was from that day, like she was around 4 months. So I said, "Oh, my daughter's she's comes under albinism," and then they then they took us to. They recommended us to go to Children's Westmead Hospital, the eye clinic. Yeah. But God's amazing, because he just seemed to align the right people, at the right time. So the doctor we happened to see, he was just covering for another doctor. And he was the one that suggested for us to go to Royal Institute of the Deaf and Blind. And, because this was new to me, for me, it was welcoming everything that the specialist was saying. So it was then that I realized that's where the doctor said, your daughter, it's important that that she's always protected from the sun because of this. So and then they explained, albinism to me and, the extra care she needed. So it was just from there, I just accepted it. And, we just made sure she was well looked after. So going into the sun, she can go into the sun, but she has to be well protected. So for her normal wardrobe there's a lot of long sleeves, hats, sunscreen, sunglasses, or glasses. She doesn't really like sunglasses. So her glasses, these glasses here, so the doctors designed it so when she goes out into the sun, tints. Yeah, it's a tinted glasses. So tinted glass. Yeah. So when she goes there, it'll automatically tint. So this is her glass. So we've gone through, I don't know, how many glasses have we gone through?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. And this is the challenge I have, and good, then along the way, you meet a lot of parents with the same diagnosis, and that's what they say, this is what you have to be prepared for. So, getting to know the community, albino community is really important. Because then you get to learn what other parents have been through. So right now it's just all about taking care of her, and if someone questions, how it is to have a daughter, that's where we talk about it. And Penina is already raising awareness in school.
Vinaka, Penina, what have you been sharing in school? Would you like to share with us?
I've been doing a presentation in school about me and my conditions.
Wow. And do a lot of your classmates, do they ask lots of questions?
No, it's only when I do my presentation, but like when new people come, they ask me, "Oh, wow, you're very white. Why is your skin that white?" So then
Oh, and when they ask you that, how do you answer?
I usually I would usually tell them about how I have like
Tell them what.
I would tell them how I have like albinism and stuff.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for educating us, Penina. You know, it takes a lot of courage. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage, for you to stand there and
And,
yeah.
and I did it to I did it last year to almost all the classes that were in year 1 and year 2.
Wow. That must be what does it feel like to be standing in front of everyone?
Before I started, my support teacher my support teacher was like, "Oh yeah, Penina, tomorrow we're going to do the presentations." And I was like, "Okay." And I was really scared, but after I did the first one, I was like, "Oh, this is easy."
That's very nice. And then they ask you again, and it must be so much easier then. Yeah, because you've
Yeah,
done it before.
yeah, and then now I'm gonna do it to like all the classes this year. Like we're doing it to year 5 and year 6 this year.
Wow, well done, Penina. That takes a lot of guts, it's for you to stand there, right? To ask you questions. Yeah. What is one thing you always tell kids to know about albinism? What is one thing you always like constantly tell them? Is there a particular thing you always tell them, to understand you?
Do you see them normal like them? What do you see?
I don't know.
Yeah. And also do they ask you like, yeah, carry on.
Oh, I'm talking the blue.
Yeah. Especially when you have to go in the sun. Do sometimes your classmates tell you to come and play with them in the playground?
Yes, sometimes me and my friends, like I have some year 4 friends that I sit and talk with them, and we usually like for like the entire lunchtime, we just sit in the shade and talk to each other. Sometimes we start doing gymnastics, but we always do it in the shade because the sun is hot.
Oh, that's nice. What are the names of your friends? They're so nice.
Olivia, Abigail, and Ella.
Wow. Abigail and Ella. Wow. So Olivia, Abigail, and Ella, are they all from Australia?
No, 2 are from China, one's from Turkey.
Wow. They're from different parts of the world. That's amazing. That's so nice of them to understand you. Do you like swimming?
Yes.
So do you swim in the pool more or do you want to go to the sea?
I would like to go to the pool more because the seawater, like it goes through your nose and it's like really, really bad, and it goes through your eyes and it stings a lot. But when you're in like the pool, after like you put like you open your eyes in like the when you're underwater, it'll start to hurt, but then it won't hurt that much later on.
Right. I totally agree with you because I love swimming. I love swimming. I always like to swim in the pool because here in Hawaii, Penina, do you know that when I swim in the sea, I can see turtles swimming next to me? Yes. Yeah. Next time you come to Hawaii, you come and visit me, okay? I'll take you and see the turtles.
Now, haven't you been to Hawaii? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you come and visit. Yeah. You come and visit me. I have another question. What was another question? Oh, yes. The sunscreen that you put on your body, does mom have to buy different types of sunscreen?
No, we just buy sunscreen, like the children's one, not the adult one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's nice. And is there something you want to tell mom because I really want to say thank you to Mom for just doing so much for you. Do you feel the same way, Penina?
Yeah.
So what would you like to tell Mom? Mom is sitting right there. Yeah. Yeah, Penina, because she's been buying your. I saw your glasses. Mom said you've changed it like 3 times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we broke them 3
She
times.
breaks it all the time.
Like
Do you
this
break
one.
them? Why do you break them?
Why do you break it?
Why do you break it, Penina?
Because sometimes me and my friends are playing, and then while I'm running, my glasses they just fall off my face. And this is at lunchtime. Once me and my friends I left my glasses on my table, like my special desk, and then and somehow it fell on the floor, and someone stepped on it, and then someone told me my glasses broke. So then I ran back to my table, and I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, and then Mom buys it again. So wow, look at that, Penina. Mom really loves you, and she really cares for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you come to Disneyland, should Mom come with you, or you should just come alone?
I can't come alone. I'm too young. So she has to come with me. And
Yeah.
I also want her to come because I don't want to be alone.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Mom deserves it.
But
Mom
just me
deserves it.
and you.
Wow, thank you, Penina. See, we're learning so much about this. Yeah, so Lola, in terms of the school, do you have to go to school like before the term starts to talk to her teacher of that year, just to
Yes.
warn her or advise them about Penina and her
So
needs?
because I had a good setup when she was a baby, at 4 months. So like the services here are so good, and it's sometimes it's just sad that some parents are not aware of it because they just weren't like some. Then that's the thing you learn. Some parents, they don't accept the diagnosis, and they don't use all the services available to them. But that's what we learn along the way. And so from a young age, when the doctor we met at Westmead connected us to the Royal Deaf and Blind Society. So from 8 months, she was already having therapists coming, support teachers coming to visit her. And it was all about her vision, and every fortnight we would have like 1 hour sessions with a support teacher. So that was from 8 months, and then she went on to preschool. She was with the Royal Blind preschool. So they were already teaching her how to use the Braille. And they would remind me, like anything that would make a situation better, I would be told, I'll have meetings with them. So I had a pretty good setup for her. So when we came into school, the education system here is amazing. So any school, if you go to a school here in Sydney and if you see yellow markings, that means there's vision impaired children in that school.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. So, but when we went to school here, there was already yellow marking. So there was already a girl 1 year ahead of her that was vision impaired. So the markings already in place. It's amazing. But what?
Yeah. And one day, I thought it was Miss Marnie told us, oh yeah, that stair outside our door is gonna be changed into a ramp. So one day we were coming into class, and I thought, oh yeah, it's already changed. I don't need to step out, and then I tripped. So then Miss Marnie was like, oh, I think we need to put something bright there.
So so it's amazing. So Penina, before we started her, I really wanted her to stay with a special school. But the support teacher said no, she didn't qualify because it was just her skin. She wasn't meant intellectually slow, so she didn't qualify to stay there. So she would just go up to preschool and then join the normal school system. But before we started the preschool, like the Royal Deaf and Blind teachers already were in contact with her school, and they already organized a meeting of what they wanted for Penina. And then they they linked us with, there's another special support teachers group that looks after the school system. So they linked us with that organization, and those teachers are the ones that come every fortnight or every you support teachers every week. So they come 4 days a week now or 3?
It's only one now.
One teacher, once a day, once a week.
One teacher.
Yeah, but she comes in 4 days a week.
She comes 3 days a week.
Yeah,
just
3
one
days a
teacher
week.
now. Because one of them had to stop taking care of me because we had another student to take care of her.
So they'll see, you know, if she's, they'll look at the needs of the child. If she's in, you know, like if she needs more help, then you'll have like 2 support teachers. When she was younger, she would have the 2. But now that she's, you still need 2.
No, that was just.
Yeah, up to year 2. So now she's in year 3. She's got the 1 support teacher. So we have meetings once a year with the school and her support teachers, and then they give me updates on where Penina's at. And again, they'll talk about what they think she needs going forward. So the Brailling, she's still doing Brailling, but the questions come up with, you know, does she need to continue with Brailling because of technology? You know, now you have, so she's got this Brailling machine that can actually talk to you. You know, it's technology, it's amazing. So that's why one of the teachers from Guide Dogs, she mentioned, like, you know, this is something you need to be aware of. You know, we might not even need Braillers going forward because of technology. So she just said that's something to think about. You know, so Penina can concentrate on learning something else apart from Brailling. You know, there's, yeah, it's amazing. And also at school, the support teachers are always talking about albinism. You know, so when Penina went in for kindy, I had to do my little brochures, and I gave it out to the parents just so they were aware of a condition, and also the teachers. And it's amazing because her kindergarten teacher was so excited that all of Penina's books, what they did was all of Penina's books, she got you know, those ruby stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she placed it on Penina's book so Penina could access her books and know which one were her books. And then all the kids' trays, so their names were all typed in Braille. So, you know, Penina, so it was like all about inclusiveness. So all the kids had like their names typed in Braille. So all the kids in Penina's class, they understand Brailling, and now they understand about albanism. And then they have, you know, like what I shared to you before, when I went to go to a classroom, they had Penina's picture, like just like as you come outside, before you come outside, there's a picture of Penina and then her sunscreen. So that's just a reminder for you to put on your sunscreen.
It's in my classroom.
Why your teacher doesn't give it?
No, she doesn't have it.
Oh yeah, so it's just like a reminder for Penina to put on the sun. That was when she was younger. But now that she's older, you know, she needs to be more responsible as well. But the teacher will remind her if she remembers, because the teacher told me sometimes she forgets, but it's a responsibility now to put on a sunscreen. So her support teachers will contact me if she's running out of sunscreen in school. And the hat.
Oh yeah, now we've got another sunscreen.
And the hat, so the school hat, it's really, it wasn't working well for Penina. So the support teacher recommended a different hat for Penina. Can you get that hat?
Yeah, we want to see your hat, Penina. That's great, eh? The school is adapting to her needs, eh?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
So the school hat is a bit different. Do you have a school hat here? So now she wears hats like this, you know, that goes right around.
Yeah.
Yeah, for yeah. And yeah, so that's it. That's the school hat. So her school hat is different to the rest of the school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some people.
Except for some people, yeah. So you know, as a parent too, it's okay to speak out. So when she started kindy, now it's changed. Before in Australia, our summers are really hot, like hotter than Fiji. You know, we're talking about 40-degree summers. So they used to have school assembly outside.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, you know, I raised the issue with the school. Penina can't be standing in the sun. So, you know, it was good. And they didn't really take my my email seriously. So I called the school and they still didn't until I got other parents involved. Like we have, it's like the local community. It's not till I got them involved that the school really decided to make a change. So Penina, at the beginning, for kindy, they decided to line the kindy in the shade. Yeah, and then like now, we don't have assembly outside.
You never had assembly.
No, in the whole school assembly. In the mornings before you line up for school. Remember? Yeah. Yes, you sit in the sun. So now there's so because the teachers weren't aware, because the teachers here when they go to college, they don't learn about special needs. So it's not till a child like Penina comes into school, and it's really up to the parent and the support teachers to raise awareness.
Teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's why they did that. Do the thing like.
Can you go? This look done. Yeah.
Vinaka, Penina.
Yeah. So the girl older 1 year ahead, the school was amazed when we started and we came in with our support teachers, and that was all new to even the principal, because she was saying the girl that was 1 year ahead, they didn't really have that much support. So because of Penina's support teachers, we got the other girl to connect with them, and now she's getting like the support she needs. So it's about helping others too. Like you have to share your story so others can be helped as well. And get the services, because like the support teachers, that's all part of the education system. And there's a few things that are not covered. So that's where I have to use, like our own money. But most of the stuff like education, her school equipment, that's all covered by the education system. Wow. Yeah, but just her glasses, her sunscreen, things like that, that's I covered that.
That's
something in Fiji, it's really important, for parents to protect the skin, because it's prone to cancer. So like Penina, even her the guide, the support teacher from Guide Dogs, so they had to teach her how to use the cane.
Right.
That's to assist her going up the stairs, but you hardly use it. Anyway, so she's been taught to use a cane as a backup. So with albino kids, when it's really hot and bright, that's really difficult for them, to navigate their way through streets and all that. It's just too bright. So here our summers are really bright. So that's why for Penina, the glasses is really important. But the cane is there to assist her as well. So even in a room, if Penina goes into a room and it's like, just say, for example, it's all white and bright, she'll have difficulty, because it's just too bright for her eyes. So, so things like that. That's where the guide dogs came in and said, that's where the cane comes in handy. Because I didn't think she needed a cane.
Yeah.
Until they said, so and then that's where the support teacher from Guide Dogs, she sent me like a link to buy shirts for Penina. So I only get long sleeves up to here. So she sent a link where there's a long sleeve, and then there's an extra bit that covers up to her fingers, halfway of her fingers.
I see.
So that's something I have yet to purchase.
Wow. So that's a lot of things for you as parents to think about, things that are covered by the school and things that are covered by you as parents. And I know there are parents in Fiji listening in, those who have children like Penina. What would be a word of advice for them, particularly those back home? Because we know in Australia, the support from the school is there. Is there any advice you would like to encourage the parents, especially to speak up about the needs of their children?
There's no harm, organizing a meeting with the principals, and discussing ways they can help, kids, with albinism. I know some of the albino kids go to the special school, but we're talking about the ones that just go in the normal school stream. Like you, but we're talking about in Fiji, it's just always good to have that conversation. And you'll have probably the one teacher, like some will probably not take it seriously, but it's always good to just keep asking the question, keep raising the query with the teachers. And, there's no harm going to the education department as well. so for example, in school for Penina, it's important that she sits right in front. So if you, so she sits in front of the classroom.
I just sit on the hall.
Yeah. So, the teacher showed me where she sits. So she's always sitting in front. And so in Fiji, my cousin was a teacher at Rewanga Methodist, and she said she had a albino student. But she said because she wasn't aware of what the child was going through, he was sitting at the back of the classroom. And she used to wonder why he used to do this, like his eyes.
To squint, eh?
Yeah, squint. And she said, and she would say, what's wrong with you, she said, and now that when she got to know Penina's condition, and when we went to the movie festival and when we watched the documentary on the kids in Fiji with albinism. No. And she said, oh my gosh, for her as a teacher, she would have loved it if they were educated on special needs, especially kids with albinism. She said, she knew that boy would have been sitting in front. So with Penina, like the class, like here, but Penina's will be right near the board. And that was when she was younger. But now, because of technology, so Penina has an iPad.
Yeah, and I use it.
So it's so advanced, so it connects to the computer. So whatever the teacher puts up on the board, it comes on her iPad.
Wow.
Yes, screen mirroring.
Albina.
The dream and desire is one day this will be in Fiji, but in Fiji, they can just ask the teachers, can their child sit in front? So Penina, she sits on the side in the classroom where there's no sunlight. Like when you were younger, they made sure, like when we went in the first time, the support teachers from Royal Blind and Deaf, they said, she needs to sit where there is less sunlight. So they made sure she was put on the other side. Little things like that helps. Like for sports, they know Penina can't take part in all sports. That's very important because in Fiji, now you do soccer.
Yeah.
Like we say, everyone has to do sports, but they just have to be mindful. You can't go and get them to do all the activities. There's some they probably can do, some they can't. So for Penina, she's now in the school soccer team, but the teacher had to come and ask me because if I had it my way, she wouldn't be playing. So the teacher said, we'll make sure she's wearing her long sleeve. She has a hat on. She wears sunscreen.
Last 2 days.
Yeah. And the soccer team is during winter, soccer sports. So that's okay. The breeze is cool. Whereas in summer, it's not only the sunshine, it's actually the heat, the UV rays that affects them as well. So you need to protect them. They can be seen in the shade, but if the breeze is warm, like here in Sydney, that's really dangerous for them. So that's why on a hot summer day, we would probably just stay home. That's just the only option. We just will avoid going out to the park or going out anywhere. So it's more like if raising awareness, the Ministry of Education could just like consider what these kids go through and change things for them, like sit in front of the classroom. For Penina, some of her books are in larger print, and that's an extra cost. So so her countdown. Yeah, so her countdown books or her prints are bigger, but and then it so that's also the working with her current teacher. So her current teacher just got on board once she found out about Penina. She called me. She said, "Okay, her bigger print books are coming home, so her books are like bigger than the normal." Can you get one of your big books?
Yeah, Vinaka, Penina, man, we're learning so much, about this. Penina, thank you for sharing your story, because lots of other children in Fiji and there are other children from all over the world that are watching our Talanoa. They will be able to understand, and know what to do. So for Lola, what about your family? Do they have to be trained in such a way to understand how they deal with Penina at home? Is there any kind of support system for your family members?
Yeah, so the supports it really was on me. I had to raise awareness in the family, and that was the beautiful thing about it is once they knew, because no one in the family, she's like the first albino in the family, so when she was born, it was like exciting in one way. So they all know the importance of sunscreen, the importance of protection. So when we were in Fiji, like I could just hear, when you're in Fiji and then there's a lot of babysitters, I go in relaxed mode, but everyone's aware of what Penina is required to do. So I could just hear someone, "Hey, Penina sama sunscreen. Sandar tugur na sala." You could just hear them at the back of the kids. So it was really good. And so the whole family. So if we went to the beach, sawa sunscreen Penina go kenta kede. Ira kera na wan sawa sunscreen talinga. So going to Fiji, I would take the big tubs, but I was so shocked with the cost of sunscreen in Fiji.
That's another thing.
It's not yet cheap. Her tube here would cost about $9. In Fiji, it was like, but that was 3 years ago. Today is $9 in Australia, but in Fiji, when we were there, when was that? About 3-4 years ago, it's like $32, $31 for that small tube. And I was like, wow. And I think that's why a lot of kids with albinism in Fiji don't buy sunscreen. But what they can do is at least wear long sleeve, long sleeve shirts to protect the skin. Can you go get the green? Get that so I can show her the normal mentals. Yeah, please. So I just want to show you one of her books. So this is her teacher. That's the big print.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything is in big print. Can you go get it?
Okay.
Oh, so they're all big.
Yeah, so all big print for her. That's the normal one. That's the big print. And then this is the normal size one. So can you see the difference?
The difference, yeah. Sandina.
Yeah, so so they're quite good. The teachers, when she went to Hindi, all her teachers that she's come across, most of them didn't have training in special needs at all. So that's where the support teachers go in and raise awareness and then work with the teacher. But every year I'm always praying that God aligns the right teacher, because you want a teacher that will get along with her, get on well with a support teacher. So when we go for meetings, all her teachers are just so grateful for her support teachers, because they said, apart from helping Penina, they go the extra mile and help the other students.
Because that's really important.
Yeah, so in anything that will make your situation better, I encourage parents, do it.
Because
you want them to achieve dreams that, maybe we think they can't. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, like soccer.
Today.
Yeah. But they also have sports for special needs children.
Oh yeah.
What else? Athletics.
Yeah, and something else.
Yeah, but it wasn't held at the school. That would it would be a 40 to 50-minute drive for me, and so because of work, I couldn't do that. But then the school will the school didn't stop her. They let her go for trials. She went for the T-ball trial, and of course,
every trial. I thought I like to touch.
With Naka Penina, you never know. You might represent Australia in the future, Penina. Yeah, I can see you. You're a very good soccer player.
Yeah. And so when the teacher, her teacher, really wanted her to be part of the school team, she actually took time off work, to come and see me. And then I said, like for me, the first challenge was, they're going to be playing during the day, and the ball, because it's a white ball. And she goes, oh no, we've got
orange balls.
They have fluorescent orange balls. She said the balls are bright. She shouldn't be able to miss that. So that helped. Yeah. So I love how they do things, So these guys, kids like Penina can play. Yeah, so now she's played up. How many games have you played now?
We're on a winning streak right now.
Wow. Man, Vinaka Penina, you've really encouraged, a lot of children that are watching, who may be, the same like you, and they'll feel like, oh, if Penina plays soccer, I can play soccer too. See? So you encourage them. Yeah. That's very nice. Wow. Hey, Vinaka Valley Penina. Now, Penina, there are some kids who are watching. Is there something you want to tell them, or just a word of encouragement to them, especially understanding, about albinism, to share with the young ones who are listening in?
What do you want to say?
Yeah, anything you want to share to them, a word of encouragement, like keep studying hard at school, or if you want to play any game, keep playing like soccer like me. Yeah.
Penina? Can tell me.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's very good, Penina. No, you've been championing, albinism at school. You've been talking to the year 1, year 2, yeah, already, year 3, year 4, and now
Year 5 and 6 this year.
Year 5 and 6 this year. Wow.
Then year 3 and year 4. This the people in year 3 this year, they already know me, and the people in year 4.
Because in year 3.
Yeah, and we're gonna do year 5 and year 6, and then next year we're gonna do kindergarten.
Oh, very nice, man, right there, eh? So you are like the ambassador already, Penina, eh? So we want to congratulate you for being so brave, especially for your age. You're still young, but you are standing there, in front of the school and telling everybody, this is my story. So everyone has been sending really good vibes. I'm going to read some comments coming through. One lady here, Vasinai, she's really enjoying our Talanoa session. She said it's a very informative. So they're learning so much already. See? You have some very good fans. There's some people who really know you now, Penina. They all saying thank you to you. And say, Mr. Kitione Matakevi, he said, Vinaka Penina. Yay. Yeah, so you already got some fans. Yeah, Vinaka Valevu, and even Lela Luvu, Vinaka Lela, and Vertariki Lomalangi, Naitasili, thank you. He's from Nairai. Lomaibiti is really enjoying the session today. So, so many of us are learning so much just from your mother and daughter team sitting here and sharing with us about this very special day, which is the International Albinism Awareness Day, which was celebrated on the 13th of June.
I wonder where's the other daughter.
Exactly. I wonder where the other daughter is. Yeah, so I'm sure she'll watch this this video later on. And we just want to thank you both, Vinaka Lola, Vinaka Penina, for taking the time out from your busy schedule. Especially you have a lot of things to do. It's a Saturday there in Sydney. So maybe we'll pass the microphone back to you, Lola, if there's anything else you want to share as your last comments to our parents and families that are listening in, particularly their understanding about albinism.
Just for me, the main thing is supporting Penina. Like if there's, I'm always getting updates. I follow anything about albinism or vision impaired. So if there's something new that I know will help Penina, I'll do, because for me, I want her to achieve what her dream and desire, what she can do. Yes. So that's the dream is for her to achieve exactly what she's capable of doing. I don't want albinism to be the. You want to do that one next?
Yeah, because 2 friends, the ones that are here for, and they teach you how to play netball properly.
Okay. Yeah. So, like it's the whole idea is to encourage them. There's sometimes what I've learned, from other parents is not to just say no at the beginning, like she'll probably come home and say, no, we're talking about other situations. Then if she says, oh, I want to do this. So parents usually say, just, listen. It's always good to listen to them. And, do your own research, because there's probably another kid with albino that's already doing it. So let's not just assume that because of her vision, because of her skin, she can't do it. But then, if it's gonna be hard for a situation, then you find ways that you can help her achieve that goal. And, just important, just looking after her, like her well-being, just especially her skin. Because these days, too, as a parent, I'm so busy that I can forget to take sunscreen. So sometimes I try and leave a small bottle in the car, in my bag, or if we go to we visit a cousin here a lot, family, so they've got, yes. So they've got a hat, they have a hat already there and her sunscreen. So if I drop her and I forget to take it, they already have it there. Because that's about, raising awareness, in the family.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. So she's talking about her cousin. If she goes outside with without a sunscreen, she'll call her back in to put on a sunscreen. Yeah, and just treat them like a normal thing. But what I also something that I've taught at a young age is, there'll be kids that will stare at her, and that's normal because you can have some parents that say, oh, gosh, those kids are rude, they're staring, but you can't help people stare at someone, especially when they've never come across someone like Penina. And I've told Penina that's okay. If someone stares, that's okay. And if they ask you, so there was this girl, for example, she walked past Penina and she just kept staring at Penina. So we left it, and then she stopped, she came to me and she goes, what does Penina have? So that gave us the opportunity to talk about albinism to her. She goes, oh, wow. She said she's never seen someone like Penina before. So, don't get offended, if kids stare at Penina. Like, if kids stare at your albino child, because there's not many of them. So, that's okay. You don't have to get angry with them. That's an opportunity just to talk about albinism to that person. And that's what I also tell her, because she's come across situations as well, that are hard, and I have to train her because I won't be there for her, all the time, especially in school or, when she becomes an adult. So she needs to learn how to respond. So you want to tell Dr. T how you respond?
Like what?
If someone's staring at you, if someone calls you weird?
Yeah. What do you do?
Tell me the last time you responded when someone called you weird, remember? Church. What did you say?
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, so we try and encourage her just to try and respond in a respectful way, just she can say, I'm normal like you. I'm not weird, and, to stand her ground. So, that's something she'll have to, I'm trying to encourage her, she'll have to face in the future. It's not something that I can't be there for her all the time. So it's just us training her to respond in a good way, so she doesn't get into trouble and the other kid doesn't get into trouble. Yeah. Yeah. Because she's already told me, once someone told her, oh, you look weird.
I did? What?
Church, you said a few years ago. You probably can't remember.
No, I can't.
Oh, yeah, and then the joke that, she's adopted.
Why I said that?
Oh, Lisa. I mean, I can adopt you. Can I bring you to Hawaii? Yeah.
So how do you react to this comment? You're adopted.
I would love to adopt you.
I would find her and just look at her and I would say, I'm not adopted.
Vinaka, Penina, I love your sense of humor. I love your spirit. Yeah, you just respond positively. Good girl. Yeah, well done. Nakavakalevo. Man, Lisa, that was a really good topic you raised there. The response from the community, Lola. When people see her, or how to deal with comments when people say things. So Vinaka for raising that. How to respond back to people, because there's some weird people out there too. Clara, do was to Balilia. Sivada Vanita.
And see, this is what my cousin, the one I was talking about, that was the teacher. She said, "Men in it, yeah." And then I was to Bali listen to Mona Clamango. Matare say, ready to go, like our I don't know, we're so judgmental, you know, like, and it can be cruel, but we don't realize, you know, these are kids. But that's just our, I don't know, that's just the way we talk in Fiji, you know. So, you know, she's saying like, yeah, like kids like that. So I was something I forgot to mention is, they have, see, when she looks that way, when she looks down, that's like her focal point. So people with a vision impairment, they have different focal points. So for Penina, her focal point is she looks down. So that's the, when she looks that way, that's the best way she, you know, she can view something. So am I explaining it correctly? Yeah. So, you know, some kids, they would look like this, you know, sideways. Yeah. So that's because that's their focal point. They can see best that way. Some people, so they look down. Focus, yeah. So we call it focal point for them. So, you know, she said, my cousin said, man, you know, in Fiji, you know, and then we'll say, oh, you know, we need to stop doing things like that because, you know, and educate people. People view, that's the way they look. I mean, that's the way they see things better. Like, so Penina with her glasses on, then she can look straight. But without her glasses, if she's doing something, so she look down to, to see things better.
So Friday, it was like about shapes, and half of the time I was thinking she was reading us out the questions, and at one time I just zoned out, and then I came back and like, oh no, I didn't listen to half of the questions. But then there was some questions on the side, and this page was in black and white, so I couldn't read any of them, so I didn't answer them. And then
so that's just an example where she couldn't read certain print, like especially black and white. So either they make it colored or bigger print. So yeah.
Wow, so lots of encouragement, lots of education for many of us. And you know, and again, your plea for our relatives in Fiji and around the world, you know, not to be judgmental, to judge them because of the way they look. They may be looking up or sideways, but they're trying to focus. So kira-kira sarang weekend menda kakunin do bosa tu bagalelia said the bosta to mesona bosa and a loud way they'll hear it.
But then that's the thing is because they don't know, you know, and that's where I taught myself, you know, I don't get offended if people step in, you know, or, you know, look at her funny because they're not aware. So that's why raising awareness and talking about these little things, especially just start off with your family, because once the family knows, then they can tell others. That's how you raise awareness, you know, quicker too sometimes. You know, if you can't go on a platform, just talking to your family members and they talk to their friends and their friends will, you know, talk about it again.
No, this is really good. I just wanted to say thank you to both of you, Lola and Penina. You know, you both were very brave to be here, and also thanking Elizabeth Wanga, our OG from Titakumbao, for connecting me to both of you. I saw her post the other day, and she was commenting on the fact that the Ministry of Health in Fiji, they don't have data associated with albinism, and she was venting online. She was like upset that you know, that there's not much information. I think the permanent secretary for health was saying that during the interview for the breakfast show, and so when I saw that post, I messaged her and I said, "Oh, gee, can you connect me to someone you know, with albinism or a family member with albinism, so we can use my platform to raise awareness?" So, man, this is so special. I was looking forward to Talanoa today, you know, because I know, Lola, this can be the first of many, you know, sharing. So in the future, if there's any particular, you know, session or program that you want to share to the rest of the world or rest of the public, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be very happy to utilize my platform to use it as a way to inform our community. Yeah, so I'm just so grateful. Vinaka, Penina, and Vinaka to you, Lola. Lola, last words before we finish our Talanoa.
Sister, yeah. So, don't, just treat them like a normal kid, and also never get offended if someone stares at them. Or stand up for them, as in, go out of your way, especially in the education system. If you have to go and meet some minister or someone in the department, do it, because you just setting the benchmark for the kids coming, the next generation. Yeah, because these kids, they deserve to have the same treatment as any other kids. And, with the right system in place, there's a lot, they'll make it far. Because I've heard this, I got excited when I heard there was a albino that, he's a doctor, especially in Fiji. I've never come across him, but I heard we've got a doctor in Fiji, and he's albinism. So would love to meet him one day. But yeah, so, that's it. If they have the right encouragement, they can do well. And like now she wants to be an actress.
Yay!
Yeah. So yeah, so those are the things, like I think it's just keep encouraging them. Protect your kids too, like if someone makes a comment, you can always talk to that person about the situation. Yeah. So it's just like, if you have an opportunity to raise awareness, do it.
Wow,
Never be
that's
ashamed,
wonderful.
These are special children. They're extra
It's a
special.
candina. And I was thinking about something, Penina. We might do something for you. Mom was talking about, the cost of the another sunscreen. It's very expensive. There's a few of my friends who are online. Maybe we can do something to fundraise for getting some sunscreen to our kids in Fiji. So I'm sure there will be someone in Fiji, maybe Elisabetta and I can coordinate it with someone. And I know there's Dr. Siminanta Kuitavuki, who has albinism. So Vinaka Lelalu, I got his name, Dr. Siminanta Kuitavuki. So maybe Penina, we might, I'll work with some of your aunties here to fundraise some sunscreen. For some children back home, and we can send them. There's some really good price sunscreen from America. There's some of our friends connecting in from Europe, where we can coordinate it and have some sent back to Fiji.
Yeah, that would be great, because once we had a conversation with my mom, and we were thinking, what would they use in Fiji, if there wasn't any sunscreen. So I've never really asked the question to, and because I've never come across, I've never met albino in Fiji to question them, what do they use apart from sunscreen? So yeah, they'll be so great. And the hats are really important.
Yes.
Because I came across one albino, he was a teenager in Osori markets, really, no hat, wearing a vest. And just walking in the sun. And I was like, really, my heart broke. And I said, and this kid has no idea, how he has to protect himself. So, because that's his norm. That's, he never had, he probably wasn't, they don't have money. I mean, not that, it's just, yeah, you don't have, he wasn't aware of, how important it is for him to protect his skin.
So, because those are some of the side effects. There can be long-term impact on the skin, as you were saying before, Lola. Wow, man, we just want to say Vinaka to both of you, and I know Penina, your big sister. What's her name? Penina, your big sister?
Sovaya.
Sovaya, okay. So Sovaya is waiting for you, so you can both go and pick her up. So we just want to say Vinaka Levu, and I'm waving goodbye to you now, Penina, and I look forward to talk with you again sometime. Yeah, Vinaka, and you enjoy your day. Yeah.
Thank you. Vinaka Levu.
Vinaka Sara Lola, Vinaka Penina Mode. Yes. Wow, thank you so much. Penina Cirikiyasawa and her dear mom Lola Qaranivalu for joining me today to raise awareness on the International Albinism Day, which was celebrated on the 13th of June. And they've been so busy in Australia, but they're so happy that we can come together today and just share some of their stories so we can all learn something from what they shared with us. And hopefully I can mobilize some of us to help out with our kids in Fiji. We need some hats and sunscreen. So if any of you are willing to help and donate, you can inbox me and I can coordinate it with Elisabetta Wanga in Fiji, so we can have some of these things sent over to our children, particularly those in primary school and kindergarten and secondary school. They need that support as well. Nakapakalaw everybody. Thank you for joining in.
Thank
And I will
you.
see you again tomorrow. Madmanda.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.